The gondola lifts away from the station with a smooth, unhurried motion. There is no jolt, no sudden pull, just a gentle transition from stillness into movement, as though the mountain itself has decided to carry you upward. The cabin sways once, softly, then steadies. Beneath you, the ground eases away, and the world begins to rearrange itself into layers of snow, shadow, and quiet light. Inside the gondola, everything feels contained and calm. The windows curve slightly, framing the night without exaggeration. The glass holds the cold at a respectful distance, leaving the air inside comfortable and still. Your coat rests loosely around you, no longer tight against the chill. The seat supports your weight evenly, encouraging your shoulders to relax, encouraging your breath to settle into an easy rhythm. The cable overhead hums with a low, steady tone. It remains constant, unchanging, a sound that quickly blends into the background. Each tower you pass adds a brief, muted vibration, a soft reminder of progress. Then the sound smooths again, returning to its steady line. The gondola continues upward, suspended between earth and sky. Snow drifts past the windows in slow, deliberate patterns. Individual flakes move at their own pace, some catching faint reflections from the cabin lights, others dissolving into the darkness beyond. The snowfall softens the view without obscuring it. Forested slopes stretch below, trees standing close together, branches resting under layers of white. Paths disappear, edges blur. The landscape settles into broad shapes and gentle contrast. As the gondola climbs, the valley lights grow smaller. What once felt distinct now appears distant and quiet, scattered points of warmth tucked far below. The separation feels intentional, as though the ride itself creates space between where you were and where you are going. The higher you rise, the lighter everything feels. Thoughts loosen, attention narrows to simple details. The sound of the cable, the slow drift of snow, the faint warmth inside the cabin. Your breathing follows the pace of the ascent, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Each breath moves without effort. The air feels clean, refreshed by altitude and cold, even through the glass. With each passing moment, the body adjusts, settling into the rhythm of elevation and movement. Muscles soften, hands rest comfortably. The ride requires nothing from you except presence. The gondola passes over a stand of tall pines. Their tops appear close now, dusted with snow, needles gathered in quiet clusters. The branches hold their weight evenly, unmoving, as though accustomed to the stillness of winter nights. Beyond them, the slope opens into a wide, snow-covered expanse. The mountain reveals itself gradually, never all at once. It prefers patience. Inside the cabin, time stretches gently. Minutes feel longer, fuller. The ride offers no urgency. There is no sense of arrival yet, only the steady continuation upward. Each tower past marks progress without demanding attention. The gondola glides forward, carried by the cable's quiet certainty. A soft interior light reflects faintly against the glass, creating a subtle overlay on the night beyond. The reflection moves with you, steady and contained. Outside, the darkness deepens into shades of blue and charcoal. The sky remains calm, clouds high and diffuse, holding the snow in a slow descent. There is no wind strong enough to sway the cabin. Everything remains balanced. You shift slightly in your seat, adjusting your posture without effort. The movement feels natural, unforced. The gondola responds with a gentle sway, then steadies again. The motion reassures rather than distracts. It reinforces the sense of being carried, supported, guided upward without resistance. Below, the forest continues to thin as elevation increases. The shapes of trees grow simpler, more spaced, their outlines softened by snow and distance. The ground becomes less detailed, turning into broad fields of white, interrupted by darker ridgelines. The mountain organizes itself into calm geometry, easy for the eyes to follow, easy for the mind to rest within. The hum of the cable remains constant. It neither rises nor falls. It becomes part of the quiet, an anchor sound that keeps the moment grounded. Between that hum and the slow passage of snow, the ride creates its own atmosphere, enclosed and peaceful, insulated from everything beyond the glass. Your gaze drifts without focus, moving from near to far, from snowflakes close to the window to distant slopes fading into shadow. Each view holds for a moment, then gives way to the next. There is nothing to track, nothing to analyze. The gondola does all the work. You simply remain. As the climb continues, the temperature outside deepens, visible in the density of snow and the stillness of the air. Inside, warmth remains steady. The contrast feels intentional, a quiet balance between shelter and environment. The cabin becomes a small, floating room, moving gently through the mountain night. The gondola passes another tower. A soft vibration moves through the floor, brief and contained. Then smoothness returns. The ascent continues, uninterrupted. The cable stretches forward into darkness, disappearing into the distance ahead. The destination remains unseen, held back by the mountain's patience. Your eyelids grow heavier, not with fatigue, but with comfort. The steady motion encourages rest, without demanding it. The mind releases its grip on direction and distance. There is only the ride, the upward glide, the snow falling at its own pace. The gondola continues climbing, suspended in calm, carrying you higher into the quiet, one gentle movement at a time. The gondola slows as it reaches the upper station, its motion easing until it settles into stillness. The doors open gently, and cool mountain air drifts inside, clean and quiet. Snow falls in a steady, delicate pattern, each flake moving with intention, unhurried as it meets the ground. Lanterns line the platform, their light warm and steady, casting soft circles across the snow. You step out onto the wooden planks, boots finding a sure, quiet footing. The station feels calm and open, held in place by the mountain itself. The lanterns glow at an even height, spaced thoughtfully along the edge of the path ahead. Their light does not compete with the night. It simply exists within it. Beyond the platform, a narrow trail leads forward, bordered by tall bamboo rising from the snow. The stalks stand close together, straight and composed, their pale surfaces catching faint reflections from the lantern light. Snow rests lightly along their length, accentuating their vertical lines. The forest begins almost immediately, drawing you inward with quiet certainty. You follow the path at an easy pace. Each step presses softly into the snow, leaving a brief impression before the snowfall begins to soften it again. The bamboo sways gently overhead, responding to the smallest movement of air. The sound is subtle and rhythmic, a quiet rustle that blends naturally with your breathing. Lanterns hang among the bamboo at varying heights, suspended from simple cords. Their glow filters through the stalks, creating layers of light and shadow that shift as you pass. The path curves gradually, never sharply, guiding you deeper into the forest. The world beyond the bamboo fades from view, replaced by this enclosed corridor of light and snow. As you walk, the temperature remains crisp but comfortable. The cold sharpens awareness without demanding attention. The snow continues its steady descent, catching briefly in your hair and on your coat before melting away. Each flake moves independently, contributing to the overall stillness rather than disrupting it. The bamboo forest feels timeless, existing apart from any specific moment. The stalks rise tall and unbroken, their tops disappearing into the darkness above. The lanterns provide just enough light to see the path ahead while leaving the rest to suggestion. Shadows stretch gently across the snow, elongated and calm. Your steps remain unhurried. The path encourages a slower rhythm, a pace that aligns naturally with the surroundings. Each breath settles deeper, fuller. The forest absorbs sound, creating a soft envelope that holds the moment intact. The lanterns ahead appear one at a time, each arrival marking progress without urgency. As the trail continues, the bamboo begins to thin slightly. The lanterns grow closer together, their light overlapping in warm patterns across the snow. Ahead, through the spaces between the stalks, a structure begins to emerge. At first, it appears as a suggestion of form, a darker presence beyond the glow. With each step, the shape becomes clearer. Wooden beams, sloped roofs dusted with snow. The temple lodge rests quietly among the trees, its presence calm and grounded. Light spills from its windows in soft amber tones, reflecting gently across the surrounding snow. The path leads directly toward the entrance, framed by bamboo on either side. The lanterns guide you forward, their glow steady and reassuring. The lodge feels welcoming without excess, its design simple and balanced. Snow gathers along the edges of the roof, undisturbed, as though it has settled into place with care. You approach the final stretch of the path, the bamboo giving way to open space around the lodge. The forest recedes behind you, leaving a sense of quiet completion. The lanterns near the entrance burn a little brighter, their warmth contrasting gently with the cool night air. The temple lodge reveals itself fully as you move closer, rising from the snow with quiet confidence. Its structure is formed from deep green jade panels and smooth bamboo beams, balanced and precise. Lanterns hang beneath the eaves, their light warm and steady, illuminating delicate carvings worked into the wood. Patterns of leaves, flowing water, and mountain forms trace along the surfaces, each line intentional and calm. Around the lodge, a garden rests beneath the snowfall. Cherry blossom trees stand in gentle contrast to the winter air, their branches holding soft pink leaves that gather snow without bending. The color remains vivid against the white ground, subtle and grounding rather than bright. Below the trees, koi ponds curve through the garden, their water dark and still, reflecting lantern light and falling snow. Beneath the surface, slow movement creates faint ripples as koi drift in unhurried paths. Stone walkways guide the garden's shape, their edges softened by snow. Bamboo fencing frames the space, offering structure without confinement. The entire setting feels composed, arranged to encourage stillness rather than admiration. Each element exists in balance with the others, held together by the quiet rhythm of the mountain night. At the entrance, figures dressed in white stand beneath the lanterns. Their garments fall in clean lines, unadorned and serene. As you approach, they incline their heads in a gentle bow, their movements fluid and respectful. One steps forward, extending an open hand toward the interior, the gesture calm and unforced. The invitation feels natural, as though your arrival has been anticipated without expectation. The door opens smoothly, revealing warmth and soft light within. As you step inside, the air shifts around you, carrying the subtle fragrance of wood, tea leaves, and fresh water. The interior space opens wide, ceilings supported by bamboo beams that draw the eye upward without demanding attention. Jade panels line the walls, their surfaces catching the lantern glow in muted reflections. The attendants guide you forward along a straight, unobstructed path. The floor beneath your feet is smooth and warm, encouraging slow, measured steps. The space remains quiet, held together by gentle movement and soft fabric sounds. Each turn of the corridor aligns naturally, guiding you deeper without confusion. The path leads into a private room set apart from the main hall. At its center rests a low, round table, crafted from polished wood, its surface clean and uncluttered. A single cushion seat is placed with care, positioned directly across from a wide panel window. The window frames the garden beyond, drawing the outside inward. You settle onto the cushion, your posture adjusting easily, supported without effort. From this position, the view opens fully. The koi pond stretches calmly below, its surface broken only by the slow glide of fish beneath. At the pond's center stands a single tree, its trunk dark and steady, branches extending outward with quiet grace. Pink leaves gather lightly along the limbs, snow settling among them in delicate layers. Beyond the pond, the garden slopes gently downward before giving way to open space. Snow-capped mountains rise in the distance, their forms softened by falling snow and night air. Their presence feels steady and expansive, anchoring the scene without overwhelming it. The lantern light reflects faintly in the window, blending interior warmth with the calm outside. An attendant enters the room without sound, carrying a small tray. Upon it rests a ceramic teapot and a matching cup, both simple in design, glazed in deep earth tones. The pot releases a faint, comforting aroma as it is set gently on the table. Steam rises slowly, curling upward before dissolving into the warm air. The attendant pours the tea with steady hands, filling the cup partway, allowing space for warmth to settle. The tea's color is rich and clear, reflecting the lantern light with a soft glow. The tray is removed quietly, leaving the room undisturbed. You lift the cup, feeling its warmth spread naturally into your hands. The first sip moves smoothly, grounding and calming. The flavor is deep and balanced, lingering gently before fading. With each breath, the room seems to grow quieter, as though responding to your stillness. Outside, snow continues to fall at an even pace. It gathers on the tree's branches, on the stones surrounding the pond, on the bamboo railings beyond. Inside, warmth remains constant. The tea rests comfortably in your hands. The view remains unchanged, steady, and composed. The moment stretches without pressure. There is nothing to prepare for, nothing to anticipate. The mountain holds its place. The garden remains still. The tea cools gradually. Your breath follows its own quiet rhythm as the room settles around you, complete and unhurried. A gentle melody begins to surface somewhere beyond the walls, so soft it feels less like sound and more like atmosphere. The notes move slowly, carried by traditional instruments whose tones are rounded and warm. A single string hums with quiet intention. A wooden flute breathes a low, steady line. The music does not draw attention to itself. It settles into the space, threading lightly between your thoughts, giving them somewhere to rest. The teacup warms your hands as you lift it again. The ceramic holds heat evenly, grounding and reassuring. Steam rises in thin, delicate trails, carrying the faint aroma of leaves and earth. You pause for a moment before sipping, allowing the warmth to reach your face, allowing the quiet to deepen. When the tea touches your lips, it feels smooth and balanced, neither sharp nor heavy. It moves gently, spreading warmth through your chest and outward into your shoulders. Each sip slows time further. The flavor unfolds gradually, subtle layers revealing themselves without urgency. There is a softness to it, a steadiness that mirrors the stillness of the room. The tea does not demand focus. It supports it. With every swallow, the body responds naturally, easing tension without instruction. The music continues its quiet rhythm. Notes rise and fall with patient spacing, leaving room between phrases. The pauses are as important as the sounds themselves. They allow the air to settle. They allow the room to breathe. The melody aligns with the soft tapping of snow against the window, the faint movement of water in the pond below, the distant hush of wind across the mountain. Your gaze returns to the garden beyond the glass. The koi move slowly beneath the surface, their colors muted by depth and reflection. Their paths cross without disturbance, each motion deliberate and smooth. The tree at the pond's center remains steady, its branches holding snow and petals alike. Pink leaves drift downward occasionally, landing softly on the water before dissolving into gentle ripples. The mountains beyond remain present, their outlines softened by snowfall and distance. They feel less like obstacles and more like guardians, standing quietly in the background. Their stillness reinforces the sense of safety within the room. Nothing presses in, nothing pulls away. Everything exists in balance. You take another sip of tea, feeling its warmth travel downward, settling comfortably. Muscles respond by loosening. The jaw softens. The neck releases its hold. Hands rest more easily against the cup. The cushion beneath you supports your posture without requiring adjustment. The room seems to recognize stillness and reflect it back. The music shifts slightly, introducing a deeper tone beneath the melody. A low drum hums gently, its presence felt more than heard. It provides a subtle foundation, anchoring the lighter notes above. The rhythm remains slow and unhurried, consistent enough to become part of the background, steady enough to guide the breath. Your breathing aligns naturally with the music. Inhale, slow and full. Exhale, long and unforced. Each breath settles deeper than the last. The body responds instinctively, adjusting without effort. Thoughts that once lingered at the edges begin to drift, losing their shape, dissolving into the calm. The lantern light within the room flickers slightly, responding to a subtle movement of air. Shadows shift gently along the jade panels, creating soft patterns that move and settle again. The bamboo beams overhead remain steady, their presence reassuring and quiet. Everything in the space feels intentional, placed with care, maintained without excess. The teapot rests on the table, its warmth slowly fading. You pour another small cup, the sound of liquid filling ceramic, barely audible beneath the music. The act feels ceremonial without formality. Simple, repeating, comforting. The tea continues to offer its warmth, its steady presence reinforcing the calm that has taken hold. Outside, snow gathers along the garden paths, layering softly atop stone and wood. The koi pond reflects the lanterns in elongated streaks of gold. Ripples spread and fade, leaving the surface smooth once more. The single tree remains central, its pink leaves catching snow in quiet balance. The music introduces a pause, a moment of near silence that feels intentional. In that space, the sounds of the room come forward. The faint crackle of a distant fire, the gentle movement of air through bamboo, the soft settling of the building itself. Then the melody resumes, unchanged, welcoming the stillness back into rhythm. You rest the cup in your hands, allowing the warmth to linger. The tea's effects deepen gradually, spreading calm without drawing attention to itself. The body feels supported, grounded, at ease. The mind follows, releasing its hold on structure and sequence. The room holds you in this state without expectation. Time stretches gently. There is no sense of progress to track. The music continues. The snow falls. The garden remains composed. The mountains stand quietly beyond. The tea cools slowly, each sip less warm than the last, yet equally grounding. Your gaze softens, no longer fixed on any single point. The window, the pond, the tree, the mountains blend into a single cohesive view. The interior warmth and exterior stillness merge, creating a sense of continuity rather than contrast. The melody drifts onward, its pace unchanged. The instruments speak softly to one another, exchanging tones that settle and fade. The rhythm remains constant, offering reassurance through repetition. Each note finds its place, then releases it. You remain seated, comfortable, unhurried. The cushion supports you fully. The tea rests lightly in your hands. The room remains quiet and steady around you, holding the moment open, allowing calm to deepen naturally, without conclusion, without demand. The music continues at the same gentle pace, its tones settling deeper into the room as if they belong there. Each note arrives softly, then drifts away, leaving space behind it. The rhythm remains slow and even, encouraging stillness rather than attention. It feels woven into the air, present without asking to be noticed. You take another small sip of tea. It has cooled slightly now, resting at a comfortable warmth. The flavor feels smoother, rounder, lingering just long enough before fading. The warmth spreads quietly through your hands, your chest, your shoulders, easing everything into a more natural alignment. The cup rests easily in your palms, steady and grounding. Outside the window, the snow continues its delicate descent. It lands on the pond's surface and disappears into gentle ripples. The koi move beneath without urgency, their paths slow and fluid. The single tree at the center of the water holds its shape. Pink leaves and white snow balance together in quiet harmony. Beyond it, the mountains remain unchanged, their presence calm and constant. Inside, the lantern light glows softly against jade walls and bamboo beams. Shadows shift almost imperceptibly, settling again as the air stills. The room feels complete, as though nothing more needs to be added or adjusted. Everything exists exactly where it belongs. Your breathing slows further, deepening naturally. Each inhale feels full. Each exhale releases gently. The body responds with ease, supported by warmth, sound, and stillness. Thoughts move more slowly now, drifting rather than forming, dissolving before they can settle. The teapot rests quietly on the table. The music flows on, unbroken. Snow continues to fall beyond the glass. The moment stretches comfortably, open and unhurried, allowing calm to deepen without direction, holding you gently in place as the night remains steady around you.